What up, guys? So, my post about stealing competitor backlinks on LinkedIn just took off, and I thought I would record a separate video where I would go into the slightly more details about the ins and out of the entire process because it is a little tricky and there are things that I didn't mention and that you didn't ask as well. Some of the comments didn't ask about certain things. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So, competitor link building is the first thing we do when we launch link building campaign for our clients because it's a lot easier to do, and we know that these guys have already given out these backlinks, so we have a good chance of securing those backlinks for our client as well. So how do we do this? So first we need to find the seed keywords, the keywords that we'll be using in order to find our competitors. And I call this competitors, but in reality is that these sites might not be actually our direct competitors, but they might be operating in a similar industry. They might be trying to rank for similar keywords. So in a way they are competitors, but they not necessarily are competitors as well. Okay, we just call it this way to make it simple. So you go out there. So I'm going to use an example for the entire process. So suppose I want to rank for the keyword which is stream management. This is a typical one of the SaaS world keywords. So first you need to create a list of seed keywords. Okay, so how do you do this? So our first keyword is stream management. So the first thing you do is that you actually go directly to Google and type in the keyword stream management. After that, you scroll through the entire page which Google gives you and check out all the other related keywords. People also ask for, people also search for, then suggestions down the very bottom of the first page. You find all those keywords and make a note of those. So if they're very, very different, and I don't recommend keeping very similar keywords. So if you got, say, stream management A and stream management B, they're very similar. Yeah, but if you got like stream management and then agile metrics, for example, which Google gives as a separate, is a similar, like a keyword in the same cluster that people also search for, and that can happen, then you definitely keep the second keyword because it's so different to the first one. But you don't really mind if they're really, really similar. So you do this for as many times as you want to. And in fact, when we build backlinks for months for our clients, this is a big part of this process. Yes, we want to build up that seed keyword list to like above and beyond. We want to have a lot of keywords we can afterwards we can play with and find the competitors. So this is what we're going to do next, find those competitors. And to do this, you go directly to Ahrefs and plug in those keywords in the keyword explorer and then see what Ahrefs is giving you. So you go through page 1 on Ahrefs and actually the first maybe 20, 30, 40 results, depending on how relevant they are. And by relevant, I mean you have to look at what actually pages that Ahrefs is obviously showing you, that they make sense in a way that they're relevant to our industry. Because, for example, a stream management keyword, this specific keyword is also used for property management companies. And our client has nothing to do with property management. They are a SaaS company. So they've got nothing to do with this. And it just happens to be that these search terms, they have somewhat like parallel meaning. Yeah, so they're identical search terms like stream management, but in different areas, they mean a different thing. So Google's actually given two groups of results for this specific keyword, okay? So once you got those keywords, once you got those URLs for the first keyword that you're using, you want to take those results which are relevant and that have at least 10, maybe even 20 referring domains pointing at them. Why is this so important? Well, because once you start filtering out those referring domains, you will quickly find out that you can only work with maybe one or two of those, because the majority of those inbound backlinks will be spam, which you'll throw out right away. Then there will be a part which does not fit you based on the metrics, and we have a pretty high quality standards for when it comes to link building for our clients. And then you will have some websites which are not great in terms of relevancy as well, so you throw those out as well. So you only end up with a bunch of those do follow websites, do follow referring domains you can really work with. So that's why I say do not bother with anything less than 10, 20 referring domain URLs, and go for the ones that contain more. Okay, So I recommend taking those URLs with 20, 30, 40 plus referring domains and making a list of those and bringing up the total number of referring domains before you go to the next page, to the next stage, all the way to say 300 domains, referring domains. So you'd have like several URLs, and one of them might have 30 referring domains, another would have 50, 60, 25, and then you kind of bring it up to 300. Once you got that, you obviously want to download all those results. So to do that, you click export from Ahrefs. And I recommend you not filtering out the stuff on Ahrefs, especially if you're in a newer Ahrefs plan, because it will burn your credits. And Ahrefs is, anyway, that's a whole different subject. So anyway, you click export twice, and then you get all those results, and you can later open them up in your Excel with CSV, or you can go to Google Drive. That's what I do. I prefer spreadsheets. Google Spreadsheets, and just upload all those results to Google Spreadsheets. And after that, you only want to keep, was it like 3 or 4 columns there? I think it was 4 columns. So the URL itself, domain rating, domain traffic, and no follow column. Yeah, so you obviously want to have follow backlinks. So for everything that is true, for no follow, you want to get rid of that, because you only want to get backlinks that are do follow. And in this case, everything that is do follow is false for no follow column. It's super complicated, but it's actually very, very simple. Anyhow, so you got those 4 columns right now. So now what you need to do, yeah, you're exactly right. You need to filter them out according to the metrics that are suitable for your link building campaign. For our clients, we use anything that is DR 40 plus all the way to, like, we usually go 40 to 70 plus, okay? And domain traffic is 1,000 plus monthly traffic. That is a good rule of thumb to filter out all the crap. However, there are cases, there are instances when we have a slightly lower traffic, say 700, 800, 900 monthly volume, but the website needs to be impeccable itself. And by impeccable, I mean it should have a pretty high domain rating, and it should be a real business. Yeah, and I'll go into that further, because very often, not very often, but it happens frequently that you have like a proper business website which just doesn't have a lot of inbound traffic. Okay, that happens. They're maybe not taking care of their blog, or there's something else going on. They just don't care about it. That happens. But the website itself is legit and is absolutely valid, so you can definitely play with it. Okay. So once you got that taken care of, so you've got that all filtered out according to the metrics, now you need to go ahead and check out those websites visually. And this one is a little bit tricky. If you're not experienced with SEO and link building, you need to have a trained eye for that, and it takes a bit of time, because I'm able to tell a website from, you know, like absolute crap website from something that is great pretty quickly. So I've got certain things I look at every time I go out there. So for some reason, crappy websites, all in all crappy websites, they have a crappy quality logo. I don't know what is it. Maybe they're just lazy. I think they are. So maybe they just go and download like some crappy logo from Canva or something. I don't know. I don't know what's the reason behind that, but it's just the logo itself. It's not really clear, if you know what I mean. So if you see like a logo that is not clear, especially in a combination of magazine style website, which I'm going to cover in a moment, that's a huge red sign. So red flag. So I already don't go. We don't go for these websites. Generally, there are exceptions. Generally, we don't go for these websites. So that's the first thing, the logo. Next, and I've just mentioned that, the magazine style look website. So these are the websites that talk about all the stuff. Like they talk about business, they talk about finance, they talk about health, they talk about crypto, they talk about CBD, they talk about all that stuff. And it's just interchange. Like at times you get the websites that are strictly like focused around several niches, which in a way are similar, like business and finance and entrepreneurship. But if you think about it, they're still vast. They're massive niches. So even just being focused on those things is just an overstretch. Anyhow, so once you see, and that usually you see that up in the header. So you see that health, fitness, cooking, whatever, all that stuff. Like, if you see that right away, it's a huge red flag. And if you scroll down, you'll see the rest of the website looks like crap, has those logos, poor quality logo. That is the thing. So then the crappy website would also cover shady topics like CBD, crypto, essay writing, gambling, like that's sort of crazy stuff, okay? And yes, at times legit websites cover these topics as well, but they need to be focused around certain like other niche, or they need to look legit. So if it's just a magazine style website that covers these sort of niches, then chances are they're like just selling backlinks, and 10 out of 10 times that's the case. And we don't want to work with websites like that because the amount of value they bring in to the table is fairly limited, if any, okay? So that is the case with these websites. Last but not least is that these websites, they once you scroll down all the way to the footer, and that's a really good one actually, if there is no company information down there, that's another red flag. So sometimes websites would have like an ownership, like a line which would include the name of their parent company or the name of the company itself. The address is a good sign, physical address. Phone number is a great sign as well. Sometimes it would have like VAT details, like European companies do that, stuff like that. That is a really good sign. So that's pretty much it. So once you go out there and check out the website visually, does it correspond to your sense? Like, do you feel like it's a real website? You know, like, is it a real legit business, or is it just like a magazine style website that sells crappy backlinks to SEO agencies? So this is kind of the way you're moving along. And we are very, very stringent when it comes to these sort of websites. And we generally don't work, again, like 19 out of 20 times, we don't work with magazine style websites unless they are actually legit magazines that are, you know, known in the area. People are actually searching for their brand. People read them. That happens. This is a lot less common, but that happens. So once you got that all filtered out, yeah, so you've done your metrics check, and you've done your visual test check as well, and you throw out all this crap. You now have a list of quality websites which we need to reach out to. To do that, you obviously need an email, yeah? And when you do it at scale, I highly recommend using a tool like Fiverr. Tool like Fiverr, huh? You can use a tool like Fiverr as well. Actually, there are gigs that help to find these emails. You can definitely check it out. But what I was gonna say is that you can use a tool like hunter.io. You can also go with Snow, like people call it Snovio, but it's like snov.io. So you can also check that tool as well, even though it's more like more like a CRM right now. That can also work. So the goal is to find emails in bulk and do that quickly, because finding emails is one of those monotonous things that you kind of need to do, but it's really, really boring. The tool will not find all the emails, so that's why you need to kind of do the rest of the search manually. So that's where the VA can come in. So I have a VA that does this, yeah, so they do bulk search with the tool, and then they come in and finish up the work manually at times, because the tool will just not find all of it. So once you've got the list of the emails, you also need the second column. So you go ahead and add the email column in your spreadsheet, in the original spreadsheet where you filtered out everything, the email and the first name column. So the first name, if you can find the first name, which is almost never the case, go ahead and have it there placed. Yeah, first name always helps. But generally speaking, these websites would all have like contact@domain or info@domain kind of email addresses. So it's impossible to tell the person on the other side. So this is when I recommend you type in there into your first name column. So we'll use it later for the dynamic variables, okay? So now you've got your websites, you've got your emails, you've got your first names there. So you're almost ready for the outreach. I recommend for outreach right now, I recommend the tool I'm using. I'm actually using two tools right now. So we're using GMass, and we use GMass for like a year. It's a great tool. I recommend you have it anyway because it offers free email warm-up tool. Okay, that is very, very handy. I recommend you have it even if you don't use it for outreach, because it is a little bit kind of like expensive if you're just like yourself or you're starting out. It's like $30 a month. So it, compared to the other tools, it's great, but still is kind of expensive. So the tool I'm using right now is called Emilia. I think it's done by French guys, but it's pretty good actually, no matter. No, I love it. I'm just kidding. So it's a great tool. Right now it's like $9 per account, which is really good price, and it offers all the functionality. So you go in there, register with it, and this is when you need I recommend having a Google Workspace account. Google Workspace is a former Google G Suite. So go ahead and register. Once you register, I recommend hooking it up with GMass and starting that email warm-up tool so it runs for you. And then it will take maybe 10, 14 days to kind of get the initial warm-up done. It should be done very slowly. I'm not going to cover it in this video. And once you got that, you can slowly start sending out these emails, okay? And again, if you don't have the capacity to use the tool, you can get somebody off Fiverr that can actually do it manually for you. That way, it will be like the deliverability is supposedly better, but if you do it like very quickly, again, like maybe the deliverability can suffer. I've never tried this sort of gigs from Fiverr. I just know they happen to exist. So writing this, then it comes to the stage where you have to write the template, the outreach template. And how do you get a backlink from these guys? You have to offer something in return, and there are a few ways you can do that. So one of the most common ones is guest posting. Okay, so you pitch these guys, you pitch these websites with a guest post idea. The truth be said, they get a ton of those requests on a daily basis. So be prepared to pay money out for the placement. However, if you are well known, if you've got a brand that is somewhat legit, and they can tell that they're legit, that you're legit, maybe there is a way for you to do it for free. So especially if you're pitching large legitimate blogs, that is definitely possibly the case. You can definitely make it work that way. However, be prepared to cash out for that for the guest post. If you're not looking to write the guest posts, you can also try to ask for just the placement of the link in the existing article, and again, that you have to pay for that. Another option is to do link exchange. So if you're happy to offer them a link in return for the link that you're getting from them, that's good. Link exchange is generally, it's an okay tactic, especially when you're doing it, when you're not like overdoing it as well. So you can go that way. We prefer what we call ABC link exchange. So we'd offer a backlink, we'd get a backlink from this blog, but give them a backlink from another third-party website we can have like some control over and get the backlink placed from there. And so it happens like we have this little kind of like a three-way link exchange, okay? So that our clients get the backlink without actually giving the backlink in exchange directly from their own blog. So that's the way it works with the template writing. You also need to have at least 2 follow-ups. So the first follow-up will cover the case when, if they didn't have the time to kind of reply. So you just pin them up with this. And then the second follow-up is just, again, you're just, again, repeating yourself, providing some value, and making sure that they have some time to reply as well, or if not, just off you go to the next opportunity. That's pretty much how it goes. Once you start getting replies, they generally fall into several buckets. So first you get yes, so you get people saying yes, this is how much the link is, or this is a good guest post topic, please write it. Please provide the draft as soon as you can. You can also get replies that are that way beyond your budget. So there are some obscene quotes that some webmasters are willing to reply with. Yeah, so they're asking some crazy money for a single backlink, which is totally fine. You can try to negotiate with them or just skip it altogether, because from my experience, these guys, they'd prefer to, give out fewer backlinks but get paid more per backlink. So there's actually some value in that in a way, because they're not just giving it out to everybody. Yeah, so maybe if it's a really good website, like really high power website with good traffic and good relevant posts, then maybe it makes all the sense. However, I don't know. So that's the second bucket. Then occasionally you still get websites which are not of extremely high quality, yeah, and they still reply to you, but you kind of discover that they're not great as you go, and that's totally fine. Like we still got that. It happens that we got this poor quality websites in our list when we reach out, but fortunately we got the second layer of quality analysis. Once before actually placing the backlink, we look at it closer, make sure that the traffic profile is also nice and clean, and if there's anything wrong, we just don't proceed with the backlink altogether. So once you get those backlinks placed, you have to record your progress. So this is when the reporting sheet comes in. We include the source URL, so where the link is coming from, obviously the target URL, where the link is going to, the anchor text, the date when it went live, DR of the domain, overall domain traffic, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's about it. The video about how to steal backlinks from your competitors. I hope it is of help. And I don't know, if you watched the whole thing, that is great. Let me know if you got any questions. I'm happy to share all the answers that I got. And I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to like and share and comment. I really appreciate all your help. Thank you very much.